And that was about 2008. It got to a peak and then it went to a steady decline, and then it spiked again during COVID time. So in 2019, the inflation rate was 3.9%. And then here comes COVID, late 2019 going into 2020 at 5.2%. 2021, 5.9 in the peak of COVID. And then post-COVID in about late 21 to 2022 is about 10.3%, right? I remember COVID has caused mass inflation in a number of countries, and Jamaica under the JLP administration has kept inflation at a level. They have managed the economy very well during this pandemic. And after the post-COVID era, we are still now in the post-COVID era, but 2023, we saw a decline, and it's at 6.5%, and in 2024, it's at 5.8%. So I really don't know where these people are getting this argument from about 200% and 300%. The teachers have gotten, a matter of fact, all public sector workers have gotten a big increase in salary under this administration. Wage freezes used to kill the public sector, civil servants, the police force. They were going under many wage freezes under the PNP administration. So I don't know where they get these rhetorics from, right? Information is there for everybody to find and seek, and stop listening to a man on a stage with a mic. We're living in the age of information, and you can easily one Google search, guys, and you find this information.
Okay, thank you, Sean. Go ahead, Nicola, and then Dr. Sam, I will allow you. Go ahead.
Good evening. I think we Jamaicans don't understand the time that we're in. Because I'm telling you, the hospitals are not 100%, but they can work with. My family is asthmatic right across the board. The simplest thing, and my mother take ill, I think it was last week or the week before. She got to a private hospital and they had to send her off to Spanish Town. And I'm telling you, doctors are there on their P's and Q's. You see these people that come and talk, say, Jamaican this and Jamaica is that. I think they're getting paid to say it. Or is it that they're ungrateful or something? Because we don't get you right away, but we get you step by step. You understand? And doctors are there trying to serve everybody. The hospital Spanish Town is not like back then. Spanish Town Hospital is far better than back then.
Not just Spanish Town, my dear. All the hospitals.
Not Spanish Town alone. All around, even by the clinic. Even by the clinic, they're far better than back then. Because at one point, when PNP was in power, when you go to a clinic and go to the pharmacy, you can't get no medication. None whatsoever you cannot get.
And we have clinics now going till 10 p.m.
You go to the clinic now. I was so surprised. I get everything. We must admit, man, under this JLP government, we are seeing improvement. But
Nicola, the minister of Ed has
hold on. We are seeing improvement. And I am not a person that follows politics. But when I look, because I say, listen, I am voting, and I am voting for my child. I'm not voting because me I follow the crowd. I see the improvement, and I am going to vote for that improvement. We not vote because the generation was a dieted this and a dieted that. We must vote because we want our kids to grow up in a better society.
I was just reinforcing the point, Nicola, that where the minister said that prescription has moved from 1 million in 2016 to over 3 million prescription drugs is being given out to Jamaican people, and people are still ungrateful for
They
this.
are ungrateful.
Yeah.
That's the whole point to it. And some of them, they love freeness and they love handouts.
Nobody should have asked him if he pay for him surgery.
PNP is ungrateful, not the general public.
Dr. Sam.
PNP.
So,
I can say, listen, my daughter go to a school, she go to Margrove, she passed to Margrove. And I never know, say, when you go to a high school, if you can pay half the school fee and the government responsible for the next half, which I paid my school fee because me never did a look out for that. But when me go to the school and pay the school fee, and the teachers, the lady in the office, I give me back this and I say, the government responds to half if you're working on a minimum wage. And I said, what? I was gladly for the next $15,000 because me I tell them I never have it.
So, like Joshua mentioned just now, I wanted to hear from Dr. Sam. Maybe he got a call, but if you're here, Dr. Sam, I wanted to hear from someone that works in the hospital and you know, someone that's on the ground every day. Because like you just said, Nicola, we're not where we want to be. And hospital, let me say this, no hospital runs without some itch or some fault or some shortness or something. Exactly. There's no perfect hospital. Even the richest ones, there's no such thing. Whether they're short on staff, whether they have issues with something else. And so we're not where we want to be, but we have improved a lot under this administration. We are way ahead than where we were. Where we were when Andrew took the hospitals over. When we're talking up, we need to remember where we were when this administration took everything over. Let's start from there, because they act like my prime minister get a hospital with every equipment and everything, and he's now not, and it is now in running down and needs fixing. We need to start from where my prime minister get the country. Start from there, and then we can have a discussion. Now, with the person named local standby or bystander or whatever, he brought two issues up. I asked him specifically why he's voting for the People's National Party. And a lot of people keep saying, why do you bring these people up? Listen, it's not just for us, you know, but it's for the people who are in the chat also. And it is also to open our eyes as to their thinking and their belief. They're Jamaicans and they have a vote and they're going to exercise their right. I want to know why they choose that person as a leadership and that party. And when you listen to them, we have to allow them, because when we listen to them, it tells us that we cannot sit back and be complacent and allow them to choose government, because look at what he was saying. What him say makes sense to well-thinking Jamaicans about why he's choosing and who he's choosing. It don't make sense. We have to allow these things. We have to allow these things so we can see and understand.
Nowadays, job is there.
I'm gonna hold on, Nicola. I'm gonna try and rotate the box.
Yeah, no problem.
No, hold on. You can stay for now. I'm gonna try and rotate the box so I have like 3 or 4 other people wants to come up. If it's somebody new and you have something you want to say, I would love to hear it as well. So I'm rotating the box now. So let me hear from, who is it? I had Nicola, Joshua. Oh, Keisha, I think she just came on. Yes. She was on here for a minute now. Keisha C. Open the mic. I had blocked you. Your background was loud. Tap up the screen, guys. Please tap up the screen and share the live. Keisha C, you can unmute.
Hello. I'm at work. I have you in my pocket. I was actually.
Okay, all right, babes. No
sorry.
problem.
Yeah, ma'am.
All
sorry,
right,
I'm listening everything though. Sorry,
all right, baby.
yeah,
thank
right.
you. All right, who else? Sean?
Yeah, man, Evelyn Bonnell, Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Yeah, I wonder to myself, say, if I'm me alone, really, I look on and think about this.
Jamaica is very ungrateful.
Hold on,
Well,
Nicola, mute.
movement and when I see on TikTok, it's like the guns set of people in Jamaica. I don't know if other people look at it or me look at it. Like the slower set of people them are them mainly. Me say I run down this PNP thing. The criminal them. You understand? The youth them when they on the corner we are look for handout. Even the conference the other day, you see how them not even listen to for them man where they want to be the prime minister. Them a blow the hand, they don't have the respect to not that. You know, them just it's the chaka bunch in the country. And then now people don't realize that so much of them, if the labor right, they don't go out to vote. And them are going to really and truly decide the leader of the country. You know? It's a serious thing going on. It's not something where fun and you like the green and you like the orange. And so, serious decision, this, you know. As we make a step forward, and if we make the wrong decision coming September the 3, either we are go forward or we are go backward. Even the other day when the Prime Minister go down the Portmore and then block the road. Hey, that grieved me heart, you know, man.
Yes.
That grieved me heart, you know. As a people, you know, them realize that that is the Prime Minister of the country, you know. Him a got through a area. And then now they had a PNP Dr. Man there. We're in charge of that the area there.
Dr. Draws?
Yeah, in league with it. Him not give apology. And him tell the people them to do it. That's them try about the country in if you use the other done said them now, the lower class, I think now if you want war the labor right them and create one whole ripping and separate the people them. We come so far. Mr. Andrew Wellness is a man of intelligence, is a man of planning. And some of the time when you look here, you might not say where you want, but you have to look at the broader picture of Jamaica. Because there was not enough was done when the PNP was in power. It's difficult to monitor the whole Jamaica where you are going to see the whole thing flourish one time. You understand? But when you look at the wider picture of Jamaica, you see whereby in putting even in agriculture and putting the storage them like when the
irrigation
farmer
and storage, yeah.
You understand? You see the construction right round when you have a vehicle. When you ride donkey, you go from Yasso and go to the next community, you see a road. When you drive a vehicle and go right over Portland, come straight back and Montego Bay, I pay construction, you see. Me in a construction field, I can hardly find workers. I can hardly find laborers and tradesmen to do my work.
And while the work and the work go alongside the piping for the National Water Commission.
Yes, this is some of the work.
But a minute, Sean, I just want to say something to Angel. And Angel, I sent you a document from the Ministry of Health. Page 34, you can look at it. And I also sent you the salary scales for teachers and nurses.
I've seen it. She can forget read this, because me blind like that. Them there was something too small. All of me blow it up on the iPad, it can't blow up big enough.
And when you're done, you're going like you're a young girl. Go ahead, sir.
Go ahead, babe.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Continue,
and
sir.
We have to go out, wake up early because don't to the blind them a go for, the deaf them a go for. You understand? If you have your family member, encourage them. If they overseas and you send money come to Jamaica and you send come give your family member them, encourage them to get up and vote to labor right, especially if it's that the choice you have. You understand?
Thank you. Thank you, darling. That was well said. Can I rotate your box? I think two other people down there. Nicola, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to say to say something else, and then I'm gonna rotate your box as well. Go ahead, Nicola. Nicola.
Okay. No, what I was saying that no young people can get jobs. Any young people that you see right now, say they don't have a job and they cannot get a job, that is a lie.
They don't want to work.
They don't want to work. They don't want to elevate themselves. They have heart. Heart is there paying us as young people to come and get a skill.
True.
So I don't know what else they want the Prime Minister to do. Really and truly. I don't know what else they want him to do. Because me a vote and me a vote for the future of my child.
Yep.
Me not vote for me. And I really and truly I see a future now for my child.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicola. Thank you for joining me. You can come back anytime, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's add Shika, and then Shika can read from here. Before I have Shika read this, though, I want to go over something.
Well, why you never tell the man say him can join you back anytime, local bystander?
But he can.
Why you never tell?
He was still in the chat. I was looking at him. He's still there. But I wanna for local bystander, I wanna explain the categories of hospital and job. And I still can't see Janaka. All this I said, I forgot blow it up.
Before you go there, I wanted to good evening everybody. I hope me not cut to no because I'm ready on the customer say come and cut to no. But I just
you can cut me anytime, Shika. You can cut me anytime.
Yeah, why we cut your neck in Joshua? Anyhow, I wanted to add to what Sean was saying. I was talking to my friend the other day and I was, we were having the discussion about voters and things. And she said to me that, Shika, my problem is I think the PNP has more of those kind of people. I don't want to put them in any category, but understand, as what Sean was saying, more of those kind of people that will go out and vote. I was saying to her, I wish the Prime Minister or the Jamaica Labour Party will be able to chip away from the uncommitted voters. I'm walking, guys, so my background might be a little bit noisy. Is able to chip away some of the uncommitted voters and then they can, vote for the Labour Party and whatever. She is worried that people who are benefiting from Jamaica's economy will not go out and vote.
That's true.
And these very same people that Sean spoke about will go out and decide who is the Prime Minister of Jamaica.
True.
And it is a problem. It is a big problem. I saw a video the other day. Lady, well-spoken, whatever she is. She said, me not gonna lie, and Johnny administration at work. And she went on and she said, even before an election was called, I am able to see these things. But she not vote. She's not going to vote. And that is where Jamaica problem is. People are benefiting. People are okay. People don't understand the importance of voting. And I will always say, my example will always be, look at what is happening in America. Look at what is happening in America. Choose leaders are important. Whoever lead the country is important. I saw somebody tweeted the other day that our NIR is the highest it has ever been in the history of Jamaica, while our debt is at 68%. You can't make them sit near our debt to GDP is at 68%. You cannot make these things up. Everything can't be perfect. It won't be perfect. But guess what? We're getting there. And I'm sorry for cutting in, but I just had to say that.
Okay, thank you.
Can I read something, Angel?
Yes, and then after you, I have Marshall here that haven't spoken yet either.
All right. This is saying the chronic state of public health care was first brought to light by the Medical Doctors Association and in particular former President Alfred Dawes on May 12th, all right? Sorry, on May 2. All right, on May 2, the Gleaner reported, President of the Jamaica Medical Doctor Association, JMDA, Dr. Alfred Dawes, has charged that the medical doctors are being given scandal bags instead of surgical aprons to do their work in operating theaters. And if that's
And if that weren't enough, does charge the operating theaters are anything but sterile in an environment that is teeming with fungus. Dawes said that in the absence of standard medical masks, doctors have had no option but to use Ebola masks. He charged there were no medical tubes to drain blood, pointing to makeshift cones in what he described as a dysfunctional supply chain in the public system. Dawes said, wait, let me just scroll it a little. Oh, come on. Dawes said the sad state of affairs at public health facilities is compounded by the constant opening of doors to operating theaters, which should be closed to prevent foreign matters from entering. All right. All right, because the device is small, I have to be scrolling.
Someone is asking, what year was this?
That was 2014 or so. He was president of the Medical Doctors Association. It said, for his trouble, Dawes was victimized and hounded until he was forced to resign as Jamaica Medical Doctors Association president. The CMPNP Dawes, that is, they have this thing the minister knows. The CMPNP hounded him. All right, but there's another thing. There's another part here. All right. Let me see. Okay. All right. That'll come up. Okay. Because this is telling on the when Dolly was minister. Okay.
We'll come back to you when you find it.
No, it's right here.
One about when Dawes said that they had to cut the soap, the bathing soap in half, and use garbage bags as apron, and him saying underpants soaking of blood when he had the surgery, because the hospitals were lacking resources and materials for surgery and all of that. So what you ready, Mickey? What he's trying to say is that the hospital been under resource from day one.
This is saying in 2007, on Dolly's watch, the nurses complained bitterly about a lack of basic health supplies such as syringes, needles, and Panadols. Okay, Panadols, they're on a PNP, they're not in Panadols in the hospital. There was a mass exodus of nurses from Jamaica on health Minister Dolly's watch. In July 2007, a lack of critical medical items at KPH and Jubilee had Health Minister Dolly on the defensive. In an interview on Beyond the Headlines, he blamed the hospital management. So good luck expecting any better from him in 2015.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. And this is the same man now who is so critical. The same man now who's running his mouth about a drill. The first drill for this region, for the Caribbean of that magnitude. The first surgical drill, neurosurgical drill. This same man had these things to say in his report, and now look at what he's saying about what's happening in the healthcare now. Them a liar, them a wicked. Can't believe nothing what them say. Them only trying to do this for power. Let me go to Marshall. Marshall, I'm rotating the box as well, guys. So Mick,
good evening, everybody.
I'll bring you back up, darling. Go ahead, Marshall.
Good evening, everyone. All right, so I think Joshua can back me up, but there is this parable in the Bible where speak of two persons. You have a poor man and a rich man. The poor man died and went to heaven, and the rich man died and went to hell. So when the rich man looked up and saw the poor man, in heaven, he was saying that, you know what, I didn't know all these things. I want to go back. Can I go back and tell my friends about hell and how serious hell is? And Jesus said to him, you know what, the prophets are there. And if they can't change them, I don't think you coming from hell would make a difference. I want to realize some of these people, even with the best of effort, I know Joshua always try a lot, and sometimes I think he believes that he's able to. I'm saying this person is not new to JLP Live. So he tend to come on JLP Live and spew his narrative. He's somebody who doesn't listen. For me, I think it comes across very arrogant. And I think we need to basically look out for persons like this who want to take over your life, who want to dictate the narrative. So let me speak as it relates to the health sector. I remember just shortly after COVID, my dad had some issues as it relates to prostate. And he went into the hospital, so they had to basically put on him a catheter because he had issues urinating. So he also had some gastrointestinal issues as well. I remember when I visited him, you know those persons in Africa that BBC and CNN usually show, skin and bones. Based on how devastating and how serious his state was, I basically started in my mind processing the fact that he's not gonna make it. Even sometimes when you talk to him and he's like you hardly can hear his voice. And when I can see today, my father is out of the hospital. At one point in time, when he came out, he couldn't walk. Now he's up, strong, healthy, can move about. And I'm saying people tend to bash the health system. And I can see and I can have the testimony that my father, who was at one point in time at a point of dying, and how much did it cost me? $0.00. So you see, we all can say, boy, that the health system is not perfect. But what we can also say, we are doing our best. And if you give the JLP a chance, you see the changes that is being taken place. Yes, we have issues as it relates to bed space and in some hospital overcrowding. That is why we're building out as it relates to hospital, where you see the various hospitals is being built, because once this happen, along with the health centers being built out, it's gonna take off the pressure of the public hospital, and then things is gonna be more easy and more smooth. I think I watched a video some time ago, and when I look, they were showing the Mobile Hospital, Cornwall Regional Hospital, and when I look at the hospital and I look at the prospect, I'm seeing first world, and this is what the JLP is doing. We're not giving any thank you for want of a better world thing. We are trying to ensure that everything that the government build out is a first world standard. So if people are not fooled, are not selfish, and just give the government a chance, this health system that Andrew Holness-led administration is building out, I believe in a few years from now, is gonna be first world standard. So I land there.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna rotate the box. Thank you, Marshall. So now let me say this.
Angel.
Yeah, hold on, Joshua. I want to address Amalo.
No, it's something that Marshall said that I really want to.
Go ahead, Joshua.
Marshall, so this argument about bed space, I can tell you what I have experienced personally. I have been on this line hearing tapes from the GenSec of the People's National Party saying that we have bed space problems. And believe it or not, Chuck know it's true too. That there, at the time when he was saying that, not only did the hospitals have new beds that were not pulled out of the cardboard boxes yet, but there were actually spaces on the ward that were unused. So don't listen to what the PNP says. That's what they have been told to say. A lot of the time when they're talking about bed space, you may have a weekend by which, boy, the traumas are just so plenty. It's unimaginable. But by and large, we do not have it to the magnitude by which they are indicating that it exists. I just wanted to say that.
But Angel, I know you got to address Omalo, but context matters, you know, and this is my problem. I was saying yesterday that we're not honest, right? We're not honest with ourselves, because I remember, I always gotta repeat it because it's just the facts that comes out of the hospitals or the health ministry, right? The minister said we see over 3 million patients per year. And how many of those patients die? How many of those patients here come and complain, right? Just the other day, you don't see people when you go. It's very rare you hear people come say, me get a very good service when I went to Cornwall Regional, or I get a very good service when I went to Maple Hospital. People don't care about that anymore, right? And as I said, me see this trend on TikTok, or the recent influencer that died, they're gonna say the hospital appear no man. She in the hospital for much months. No. Right? And people are blaming them. How many people go in a hospital and come back out alive and well? As Dr. Tufton said, we see over 3 million people per year. Basically, them see everybody in Jamaica already. Right? And these people, how much of them? Not even 1 million die. Not even 500,000 die. Not even 100,000 people die. So while most times people are living through other person's experience, right? No for we never go back Cornwall Regional, but yet we see one man coming to Cornwall Regional Hospital there in a church. I don't know about that, right? Most people that you hear
hold on, babes, I'm gonna allow you,
that you hear complaining has never gone into one hospital before. They don't know, right? The next thing they come here and they're so uninformed. Okay, we have, oh, people can't get bed. Why they can't get bed? No government, as wicked as PNP be, you think say bed space, I got there and them just say, okay, we are going to make people them sleep in a chair. I don't think so. I really don't believe that.
Thank you, Sissy. Thank you. All right, I'm going to say two things, and I'm going to give Kalara, she's the youngest one on here. I'm going to say two things. I'm going to address Amalo first.
Kalara, though.
Yes, I'm going to address Amalo first. Amalo, if I was to have the thinking like how you're thinking, I have a young man in Plainfield. Hold on. I have a young man in Plainfield, New Jersey. I met him about 7 months ago, and I told you guys about him. PNP all the way. I met him polishing the floor in a nursing home. I was on a live, and he was laughing at me. I said, this, not that, Jamaica, this and that, Iguana hospital, and all the bad things. I never stop. Every time I go to that nursing home and I see him, I show him what's happening. I tell him what's happening. I show him where he can find this information. I never stop with the youth. I have conversations with him. Me and him turn our friend till I have his number. When I told you, I didn't know that this man's switching up. But it's because he's entertaining me, but I'm educating him. You might think that we are naive to be talking to the people who believe that they choose already, but you don't know. Them say you beat pan one stone 99 times and it no broke the one hit to make it 100 break it. I went into the nursing home the day after the Jamaica Labour Party mass rally in Africa, and I saw the man. And he saw me before I saw him. And him up on the top of him voice, and you can't lose, and you can't lose. I bust out laughing. I was like, are you okay? And you know what he said to me? Him say, Mums, me I go to Jamaica go vote. And a Jamaica Labour Party me I vote for. He did his own research after beating him, and he chose because he did his own research. The man now believe in the vision of Andrew Holness and love Andrew Holness.
Use yourself as the example, Angel.
Me not care what you want to say. You see, when we bring these people up here, it is sometimes, and Chuck would say, sometimes it's not even for him, but it's for the mass, the other people that are listening. Not only that, half of the time when we depend this a chat to ourselves, we have 50 and 60 and 70 people. But when we have them, we have a mass, we have more because more want to hear what we have to offer. Same way they want to hear what them have to offer. No, me know for a fact that this brother never know that Jamaica have a type of hospital, A, B, and C. How many are upon this? 170 people know that Jamaica have type hospital A, B, and C. He didn't know that. And from having this conversation, I could tell the people what the types are. We have a type A hospital in Jamaica. Type A hospital, hospital with the highest level. They offer a wide range of specialized services and have the largest bed capacity within the respective regions. If you go to a Class C hospital, having a Class A hospital, you'll be most likely transferred to a Class A hospital. Now, let me tell you what a Class B hospital is. Provide good range of services and can be regional hospital, though they might not have the same level of specialization as Type A facility. Which is a Type A hospital? University, public Jubilee, and the Children's Hospital, Cornwall Regional Hospital. Which is the Type B hospital? These are the things that we need to talk about. So when we have people on here, and not just them, we are informed the whole group. How many other on the far youth page are listening and do not want to interact with us because of this same thing? How many others are listening and don't want to interact? So come on, I don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear that. Now let's hear the youngest person on the platform. Go ahead and open your mic, Kalara.
But Angel, you're a perfect testimony.
Exactly. I'm the perfect example. When I started on here, the Chica, the man, Philippine used to cuss me, and especially the one when, what's her name? She's no longer
That is not true. Don't call Philippine names. I did not curse you. Me are one of them who never curse you.
What's her
name?
God rest her soul. What's her name again?
Esther.
Cussed me out.
She cussed you out bad.
Esther cussed me out because I started my life. I wasn't a PNP and I wasn't a Labourite, but I wasn't taking sides, and when I was asking questions, I was asking questions for both sides. And I just wanted to know the true knowledge to the politics of Jamaica. I wanted the history, and I wanted to know what's happening. And so people take me for PMP, the Labourite, then cost me. I used to have Richards on here, you Blair Richards, you Richards, even Jay Bryant was over here. All of them did over here. Sean was over here. Dina lived over here, and they were on my platform. While they were on here, the Labourites were on here too. But they were both trying to pull me to say, choose this, choose that. But I didn't choose this because of that. I listened and I did my own research. Joshua didn't let up on me. Chuck didn't let up. None of these people let up. They stayed with me, and they showed me where to find things. You, Blair, and you, Richard, couldn't tell me which part to find nothing. You, Richards, I never forgot what he told me. You, Richards, told me, say, everything what him tell me, a theme facts and a theme head is his history. A theme history in a him head, and I need to tell me where to find it. That's what Richard tell me, Me no need to give my reference point. I where to find it. It's his history. I'm have it in I'm head. And I'm saying to myself, does this man think I'm an idiot? So I did my own research. And from my own research, I never know such things that rough in Jamaica in the 90s. I left in 1999, but I lived in Portland and I was a young girl, shadowed from the things that were really happening, but knew that my mother was going through a rough time. Because she lost a little money where she go buy things at Curacao and Haiti if I come back and sell. Lose the whole of her savings and the whole of her business. Didn't understand what it was. Because I was a young girl. But no, after I met these people, I met the PNP and I met the Labourites. And because of the tag between both. I did my own research and came up with my own reason of decisions of why I choose to be a Labourite. And me, I did have to be a Labourite. Did you hear me say? I couldn't be nothing else. Anyway, let's hear from the beautiful Kalara. Kalara.
Everyone,
Go ahead,
so my
darling.
take is for both the health center, my experience with the health center recently, and so I'm going to be touching on all those points, and just overall the PNP bashing with the health centers. So one, I can remember growing up underneath the PNP administration, the health centers were home for the poor. And for me, who grew up middle class, partial, not really struggling, but I was privileged, I hated the idea to go to a health center. Every time mommy said, "Oh, we're going to the health center," I would run and I would cry because the state of a health center back then growing up would have been not in the condition of me wanting to go there. Because for me, I used to say, like, for example, Baypen Hospital, I would call it a mad people health center and a mad people hospital because if you know the history, a lot of people say, once you go Baypen Hospital, a dead house, you not come back out. And then today we can finally say that most of the health centers are now they're well developed, they're refurbished, and they don't look like they're something for the poor. They look like they're for everybody. So now today, as my experience as a child saying, "Oh, health center for poor people, I don't want to go there," I feel like I'm a part of society, and I don't feel like it's just for poor people or people who under my foot bottom or so forth. So with the Andrew Holness administration, it allow us as individuals to feel equal, not just rich and poor. And if you realize today you have people who are up in society coming to the health centers filling their prescription, as well as you have people who is at the bottom of the pyramid also using it. And let's talk about the service at the health centers today and in the past. I can remember in the past, growing up as a child, the health centers, the customer service was poor. They used to be so slow. They were so tacky. And I'm telling you, everything, this was when I was around 12, 13, 14, and this is Portia Simpson. Everything was just tacky. Today, I can proud to say, if you go to the health centers, yes, if you go on weekends, it's going to take longer because weekends is a high traffic. But if you go in the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you get quick. The health centers are clean. Some of them are air conditioned, and the service is top tier. And the doctors and the nurses they're just everything. They give you a breath of fresh air. And we have known that they got an increase in their salary. Well, the increase in their salary is talking in their service. Let's talk about Cornwall Regional Hospital. So Cornwall Regional Hospital is in the people is talking about, oh, we have to be using conference. So you know the reason we have to Andrew Holness has to borrow conference is because the hospital is under refurbishing. Why is the hospital under refurbishing? Because of PNP neglect. Why not go to the past leaders and ask them why they need the help to keep on refurbish Cornwall instead of when Andrew came into power. So when Andrew came into power, everything went up in a deplorable condition. So he has to basically try to rebuild it and starting over from scratch because the hospital was not being kept. It was not being upkept. So therefore, because of that, and let me tell you, in spite I'm a recent patient of the Cornwall Regional Hospital, but as I'm a recent psychiatric patient, but as I can say, the psychiatrists, the psychologists, I spoke to one of the best psychologists in the island Jamaica, and trust me, she was the best psychologist. Let's talk about my psychiatrists. They were the best. They did not have any bed in the hospital when I was admitted. Listen to me, they made sure I could able to get a bed or stay somewhere so I could be comfortable. And for that, I will give my government all the props. The service was top tier. Everything was up there. And no matter what people want to say, Cornwall, I use church. Well, guess what? The service at Cornwall now is speaking for itself. It's not no pure service. When I went there at 3 o'clock, I was able to see a doctor before 5 o'clock and know if I would stay at the hospital or I would go home. And so anybody talking about Cornwall this and Cornwall that, go blame your government. Your government is the reason why Cornwall is in the state that it's in. And it don't take 9 years to refurbish a place, because I've known people who have a house and who have a little simple house and them can't done build it. Versus Cornwall, which is the biggest hospital in the Caribbean. So if you want to say Andrew take long to refurbish Cornwall Regional Hospital, go blame your government that neglect the hospital that's basically one of the best in the Caribbean. Go blame your government instead of you want to say, oh, Cornwall Regional is now over a church. I thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Sam, I'm inviting you up, Dr. Sam.
I am not attempting to hijack the program.
Kalara, thank you, darling.
I'm not, I think it's a good time for me to come in now. Right behind Kalara, if you'd allow me.
Yes. Winston, I'm going to borrow you.
Dr. Sam, I would normally ask you to.
Dr. Sam, I'm inviting you. You are up here and I don't know what happened, my darling. I would love to have you back. Go ahead, connecting.
Right. I was a patient at Cornwall. And he suggested that I should go to the hospital immediately for emergency surgery. First thing that happened is that my daughter took me to the hospital, to the doctor, and she called the Montego Bay Fire Station, which has an emergency response team, paramedics. That huge fire station, the hugest fire station in the Caribbean is Montego Bay, built by Andrew Michael Holness. And I benefited from the ambulance service. Paramedics came, they didn't have to check my vitals, the doctor have done that already. They just get information from the doctor. And in Grease lightning time, I was at Cornwall Regional. To be honest with you, I was a little apprehensive about the wait. I had surgery the same day. The same day I was admitted, I had surgery, and I didn't call any contact or ask anybody to help or anything. But I had surgery the same day. Same night. I went in there probably about 11 o'clock. And surgery was about 11 o'clock the same night. After all the procedures and so on and so forth. Emergency surgery. So I was actually moved from a chair. I was sitting in a chair because there would be no bed there to facilitate me. You wait in a chair. That is what happens now. So the morning after surgery, when I woke up, the nurse said to me,
Doctor,
where are you? So I tell her, I want to bata me and put me up. I know myself. I went to the church, so she said to me,
I'm looking for doctor.
Dr. Sam is in the box, isn't it?
Is it?
No, Dr. Sander.
Where?
No, that's Sean.
No,
Sean.
right. That's what I was asking him to come up. He was in and it got dropped. So I'll leave the box open for him. That's what I was asking.
2 blind mice. You only need 1 more now if you have 3 blind mice.
So they found a bed for me shortly after that. I was there just having fun with the nurse. I mean, the staff is so nice. The staff was so nice. I was just having fun, just come to surgery, you know. I mean, did that, but I said, well, just come to surgery as a library. I said, look how I there on my garden agent, we go 1 to 2 garden agent over me. You know what's really nice? I mean, I chat them, and I paint away until I went on the ward. And I was discharged the same day. All the professionals that I met were nice, they were wonderful staff. But I want to speak to the church that these liar baby talking about. After surgery, I went for follow-up treatment on the compound of Western Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Because of and by the way, Kalara, I totally agree with you that the PMP popped down Cornwall Regional, popped down the health sector, pop down national security, pop down Jamaica. Everything in Jamaica, people pop it down. Remember now, between 1989 February and 2016 February, that's 27 years. The PMP was in power for 23 years. The JLP, 4 of those 23 years that the PMP had, they had 18 years and 7 months straight. So is it just now the JLP is getting this 9-year run and has done extraordinarily well. So now, a part of my follow-up treatment would be good to go to the same church hospital, the same church where this committee come out to the board. And I'm going to tell you the experience I had there. When I went there, I was amazed. I was flabbergasted. Trust me, when I began to question a security guard. Because when they say Western Conference, I didn't know that there was a hospital over there. The hospital, Cornwall Regional Hospital, had to, maybe, I don't know if the government lease place over there or rent or what the arrangement. But there's a massive building over there with 4 operating theaters. 4 over the same church that they're talking about. 4 operating theaters. You see all kind of specialists, doctors, nurses, busy. That is where Cornwall Regional Hospital is operating from. Now the PNP, they have been trying to fool the nation by telling us that the Ministry of Health has wasted $20 billion. Sometimes they say 21, some say 24, some say 26, and soon gone at 30 now. Like, a significant portion of the money was used to build out this type 5 clinic over Western Conference. Another significant portion was used to build out Falmouth Hospital in Trelawney, Norwood Homes Hospital in Lucy, and Sablamar Hospital in Westmoreland. A significant portion of money was used for those reasons. So when the PMP comes on to tell us that Dr. Tufton in his budget presentation this year said $9.4 billion was spent on Cornwall Regional Hospital. And he said, he told the nation that yes, we are expected to spend $28 billion when it is completed by the expensive equipment and other services that are going to be put at it. It's going to become one of the best facilities, not only in Jamaica, but in the entire English-speaking Caribbean.
Okay.
So he said that this amount is to be spent on the completion of the hospital. So we need to have that information to edify people. So, and I'll give somebody else, I know my persons are in the chat, so I'm going to give somebody else a chat.
Thank you for connecting.
Uncle Noah, I don't cut you, I want to say something. As somebody that grew up in various sections of Jamaica, I have experience with a lot of hospitals. Even the hospital I was born, which is Mandeville Regional Hospital. You know, so underneath PNP, it was a good hospital, good up and running. And then, you know, they were not keeping the hospital. So it took its time and trickle down till, you know, Mandeville Hospital is not the prestigious hospital it was when I was growing up. Like, when I first hear about Mandeville, everybody used to say, oh, a top and Norris hospital that is up there. But you know, now the hospital is just nothing.
By the way,
hospital now.
This government,
you know,
this government has Go ahead. You finish first.
As a hospital that is coming from the state where we used to, if you're a Clarendonian, you can agree with me, we used to call it Mad People Hospital. We used to say mad people there.
Everything a Mad People Hospital, yeah.
No, Clarendonians can relate. Ask them in the chat. Isn't maybe back in the when you were around which year? 2007 to around 2015. Didn't we call that hospital as some Mad People Hospital? It was not in. If you're a Caledonian, you know it wasn't a hospital in like a top of people around.
Is that true?
I am a Caledonian. So I grew up in Freetown. But I don't know, since I was a boy, I've always heard good things about the Maypen Hospital in comparison to a lot of the hospitals. So I partially grew up in Portmore. So as a child, I wasn't really sickly, but when I got sick, I got really sick. So I've been to many hospitals, I've been to the Children's Hospital, I've been to the University Hospital. I had an accident when I was in about grade 7 at KC. So I've been to various hospitals, and I've honestly had to say that Mapin Hospital, even though at the time it wasn't the best in comparison to like waiting area, because a lot of people were still sitting on chairs and stuff like that. But I had to go there 2 times for serious illnesses. I was admitted at the Mapin Hospital in about 2012. I went to an event, stayed at a friend's house overnight. Didn't know they had rats in their house. Apparently a rat must have got into my food. I contracted leptospirosis. Anybody familiar with leptospirosis knows that there's no cure for that disease. You can die within 2 to 3 days if your body cannot fight it off while you get treatment. But I was admitted at the Mapin Hospital, and I am here alive and well today. I was admitted for about, I'd say about 2 weeks, and I was never short on food, had 3 meals a day.
They had the medication to take care of, because that is not that is not something that is a everyday emergency. They had the medication to take care of you.
Yes, they had Zantac. Zantac was the main thing.
With Mapin Hospital back then, if you had family, the doctors them interested you, all right. But me cannot have family back then. them dash you away.
No man, but no, I'm not. My family's not really.
You have to admit to the fact that the hospital used to stink. All outside, stinky.
I can't recall that. I don't know. Maybe you had a different experience.
I used to go. At Mapin Hospital, my docket is big. When I tell you, I went to primary school in Mapin. The docket fat like I don't even know what to say. I haven't been to the hospital since, but I've seen pictures since recent, and it's prettier now than before. Yeah. But my hospital, as a child at Mapin Hospital, the docket fat like my head. Literally. That's how big. I was admitted for asthma. I burst my head. I was admitted for so many stuff. I went there to visit families, and I did not like the experience going to visit family. I used to run and hide from everybody in the hospital. I hated medical ward. My favorite ward was the children hot ward, which I used to be on. That was my favorite ward. I hated A&E. I hated everything. I hated the clinic. But I love my dentist.
They saved my life. They saved my life twice, though.
And I'm gonna rotate. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna rotate the box. So, Kalara, thank you again, my darling. You can come back anytime, okay?
Angels, before you.
Somebody, who is it? Jumper.
This is the same health system that PNP is lambasting, and we have 4 solid testimonies so far. We have Connecting, we have Kalara, we have the gentleman who just spoke, and we have Omalu. 4 solid testimony. And here is this one gentleman, in spite of the improvements which are taking place, and we're trying to point him. Exactly. The first question I asked him, are you aware that 4 hospitals are being built simultaneously? He tried to sidestep it at first. And when he finally found out, then he tried to change the narrative in terms of moving the goalposts. So it's not about trying to learn. It's about trying to beat down on it and put forward a comrade point of view.
But Joshua, it's not even a comrade point of view. I asked.
It's not ideology that they want everybody to set the by.
But hold on, guys. That's not you. You don't remember how this started? I asked a question. He told me that he chose the People's National Party, and I asked him the question, why are you choosing the People's National Party? And he started with health and education. Right. And that's how we got those things from him.
Right. So, and in trying to put forward a narrative, he chose to pick on health and education.
Right.
Which is ridiculous. And in spite of the fact that clarity was being offered and information was being presented, he would have none of it. But when somebody gave information that he believes sided with his narrative, he ran with that instead.
Excuse me, Joshua.
Yes, sir.
Were you able to present the budget for the education and the health? The budget for health for 2023 to 2024 is over $200 billion. Will that be? Just in 2 years. Another comrade is not live with me last night, and he posited that.
Thank you, Sandy.
He didn't think that health or education received 25% of the $94 billion that was pumped in national security. And I jumped on the internet and found the figures. $200 billion in only 2 years for health. And
it's actually over 200 million.
Over 200, no, not million, no, billion.
All right, guys, so let's keep the order. We've been doing a great job. We're going to allow Kimmy, and then we're going to go to Jumper, and then I want to change the health, and the same question I asked. What's his name? Local something. I don't remember what his name was.
Local bystander.
Right. We can't bother with this one. The same question I asked him, I'll ask the panel the same question. So let's hear from Kimmy, Jump on, then I'll ask that same question to everyone.
All right. Afternoon, everyone. I may be jumping off topic, but I am pausing for the cause. Let's big up our teachers. Let's big up the Ministry of Education, because they would have put initiative together that allow our students to be above average in the CXC result in the Caribbean. Let us pause that the ministry saw that schools needed help and they implement a program called NSLIP, and it worked extremely well. And I want to say thanks to the Minister of Finance, who would have given the teachers more pay, so they would have been able to go to school, stay in the classroom, and be able to have food. And all the students that did amazingly well this year, by reading and listening to all the press conferences and reading about the CXC myself in the past couple of days, I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with the passes, and I'm so happy that most of our boys did exceptionally well in their CXC results this year. The boys excel beyond what we would have imagined. Because remember, boys were failing in schools, but the boys, they climbed and they stood. Big up to my nice, clean son, of course. Yeah. Passes maths subject at 14. I'm have to big him up for that, right? Okay. So I have to say thank you, Ministry of Education, for all the plans that you placed in the schools for these teachers. Thank you for not giving them any wage freezes so they could have gone to school and teach our children. Now, because we did exceptionally well in PEP and we came and conquered CXC, it has been said that we tainted the exam passes, or we did something to them. You know, they are so sad that they choose to think that we Jamaicans who don't mark CXC paper could have stayed in Jamaica and tainted the pass mark of our boys and our girls that would have passed their CXC subject. But before I go any further, I have one question for Sean DeVere. The song that you sing for the opposition leader, Dr. Michael Andrew Holness, on the stage
at the time.
How are you feeling now?
A lot of people say, you know, see other youth, they give him the advice and way, but I just think I was just speaking about everything that I believe as a good leader that he would have seen to change, and everything that I see in my country to change. And since 2015, when that happened, I've seen far greater than exceptional work in Dr. Holness and the state of the country. I feel very proud. You know, I'm one of the people who did advocate for him in the early stages as well. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So Sean, you couldn't tell me say you're a superstar.
No, he was a Magnum King and Queen of the dancer. We make day nights and night time like man have no sense. But okay, I digress. But Miss Angel, I want to say something to you. When they talk about crime, we conquered crime. When they talk about the economy, we did that as well. When they talk about unemployment, we conquered, and now we have conquered the education sector. So I'm asking the question, what next will they try to talk about? We have conquered health as well. So what next will they try to talk about? Just a little bit on health as well. Me going around the hospital. I remember going to University Hospital and there was no medication there for me to get. right? I remember going in there and I'm sitting on the chair and I'm in pain all over my body, and they're saying I have to wait. I remember waiting hours and hours and hours before a medical doctor would have seen me. It's not the case now at the university hospital versus then. And I want everybody to understand, Mike Golding said that he will not continue the plans that the Jamaica Labour Party has put into place. That means everything that would have done great, he will abolish. That's not a good look. That is not a good sound either to our ears. Another thing that they did that I'm so upset about, they're taking a well-funded organization in Jamaica and giving them $1 billion every year in their scam festo. That is what they're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying that you have to be a diarted laborite. I'm just telling you to make the right choice and choose Jamaica. I'm telling you that if you allow Mike Golding and his Tapanaris cronies to ever get their hand on the Jamaican economy and the purse, we are going to suffer. It's not a if nor but nor maybe. I listen a lot every day, Miss Ose. I hear the Minister of Finance say there's no such budget in the ministry called a discretionary fund. Where am I get that from? 10% and we are going to pay it. Also in their manifesto has a lot of taxes that the private sector and regular Jamaicans will be paying. And they are also pushing the narrative of equality in gender in their manifesto. Please, may I ask you to read it, but remember, we're not going to have a headache because the word them not spell right and the grammar is not grammaring. So you should know by that, but I just came to big up the education minister, right? Remember they said we were failing. They have no talking point now except to say we, tainted the exam, which is not possible. So guys, I just go ahead and tell you that Mr. DeVere, big up yourself. Yeah, big up yourself. I hope to see you on my live one of these days, but big up yourself.
I pass through, man. We have to keep him, man. I see you live some of the time, but true, I see your back very full and sometimes the thing heated with us. But then you chat sometime though.
Okay. All right. You need to come. Maybe you could come and ask Mr. Colonel Chad some questions one of these days. He's always on my live. So,
yeah, man. Because
he's good night, everyone. Good night, Miss Angel. And Miss Angel, please push the narrative that will picnic them in a Kingston, Jamaica in a 2005. Beat them bad in a CXC. Big up my nice Kingston Raheem. Love you, my baby. You did well. Mommy's proud of you. At 14, I have a lot to give thanks for. You understand? My son did amazingly well. He passed his first CXC, which is maths. He was recommended by the school and he passed it. And I'm super, super proud. So guys, let us continue on this path. A vote for Mark Golding is a vote for destruction of Jamaica. A vote for Dr. Michael Andrew Olef is to continue the progress that is happening. Thank you. Oh, and Miss Angel, please tell Improper Faction not to come from a Prime Minister. In favor, Improper Faction.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before your question, Angel, before your question, you notice how many times I fell off the grid? Because my phone kept ringing. I just received reliable information. I don't know how many of us heard what Peter Bunting said about
Peter Dumpting?
how they would manage national security.
That's Peter Dumpting, you said?
Same one.
I thought when you fell off, it's because you're falling for Angel.
Right. Can I tell you?
Go ahead, sir. Sorry.
So
you're obsessed with me, Joshua. Remember, we ex. We're no longer together. So.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
So the way it's clear now.
Go ahead. I'm connecting you.
Yeah, man. So he said that the word that he used is that the government is using the police force as warriors against criminals. I believe him. I was once a warrior against criminals, and the police force is a warrior against criminals. And he said that the government has militarized the police force. I don't have a problem with the police.
Yeah, I heard militant. Talking about he wants to have a guardian-like relationship. Like what is that even supposed to mean? This is the same person who sat in Parliament and cried and said that we need only God can save Jamaica.
Hold on a little lamb. I have a very important piece. I'm not the person who come up and say, breaking news, take it closer to my face. No, I put the information I'm sure is very important. But I'm just trying to do the backdrop to you. So that having got the call this evening, this guardian type relationship that he wants to introduce to the police force when if God forbid the PMP should take over this country. By the way, I have also received information that Bunting will be the security minister and will be Minister of Finance, Mark Walling. Steve McGregor, they are lined up to become security minister. And they are looking at two members of the police force. One as senior superintendent, the names, so I won't call the names. One as senior superintendent and one an assistant commissioner. Who would immediately propelled to rank a deputy commissioner and assistant commissioner. These are two PNP activists. I know them. I know the both of them. Two PNP activists them. Remember, I keep telling you guys, I went to university, you know, and what I studied was PNPology and major noisy background. I don't know.
That's from you.
Oh, sorry.
I studied PNPology, majored in PNPism. I know the PNP, and I have been saying it for almost a year now that the police will get rid of Dr. Kevin Blake, rather the PNP will a PNP government. They don't want Dr. Blake based upon how they treat with national security. They are very soft on their gangs and their gangsters and their henchmen and guns because of how they win elections. They have to ease the police force of the garrisons, the garrison constituencies that they have, so that they can continue to win election. The police force cannot keep the pressure on the gangs, and therefore that is why the homicide rate is so high under the PNP and so low under the JLP. You understand? So these two names are being called already. As a matter of fact, the call came from a senior police officer to me this evening. As much as that, a very senior police officer called me this evening and was laying all these things to me. After a serving member, that these persons are already being touted to take over the leadership of the police force. One as commissioner and one as deputy. And these are two PNP activists.
All right, hold on connecting.
Yes.
I want to have a further discussion about that. But I don't like when I add people and we're too long. They, you know, sometimes like
no, man, go ahead.
Dr. Sam, he end up jumping because sometimes we go on for so long. So we have two people on here. It was three, but the other person came off. So I want to hear from, I don't know who was first. I think Sandy was. I think Sandy was the first. Nicholas.
Good night.
Sandy
Good
and
night,
then
everyone.
Nicholas. Go ahead.
Good night, Miss Angela.
Good night.
First, I have to say congratulations on your great job that you're doing so far.
Thank you.
Continue to spread the word. Continue to be that beautiful lady you are.
Thank you.
That's my real word. I'm here listening panel. I don't have much to say. Everybody else has come up and spoken about Cornwall. I'm a staff there. I'm not going to say the area that I work, but I'm a staff. Right? I am a staff there. Everything said, everything done. Under this government, doing great. I so big up to my MP, Fly Green, coming home to celebrate with you. Don't worry about that. The wings might be far, but my mind is back home in St. Elizabeth.
Great, thank you.
Giving back his victory and big up my nice, clean Prime Minister, Anjo, Michael Hollis, and your beautiful wife, Juliet Holiness. Enough love to all. May I go and listen.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Nicholas,
said
you.
Good night to the panel.
Can't take me down. Can't take me down.
Okay, baby. All right.
That's all I need. Good night.
Go ahead, Nicholas.
Good night to the panel. I have 3 questions. I was a young youth who was a laborer.
I can't hear you. I think your background is a little bit. Is that your background?
You hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Good night to the panel. As a young youth, I was a laborer, right? So I cannot say as any people that say Andrew doing good. Because I'm voting from the other days. Even though Ms. Young and represent for the younger generation like me, that's usually why most younger generation vote for him. The biggest question in this election is not about him. Can his MPs do the job like him to return back to power? That's the biggest question. Can he win can his MPs win all the seats to return back to power? So far, I don't see that in where I live so far. That's my question.
You said you had a question. What's the question?
The question is, can the Prime Minister MPs win all the seats? Now, where I'm from, the seat looks shaky. So can he win all the seats in the 49 seats to return back to power?
Okay, so this is, hold on. All right, let me say this.
I don't understand what he's asking.
I understand. Hold on. I think you mentioned when you just came on that you were a PM, a laborite or something.
Yeah.
Your background is there is a interference coming from your background.
I'm not tired back and then
Okay. I think what I'm hearing him saying is, yes, the Prime Minister is great, people love him, but can the MPs win back?
Yeah, he asked it in the chat, you know. He said something in the chat like his question is how if the JLP is so good, why did they lose the election last year or something like that?
But Sean, he also mentioned that he was a laborite and him voted many times. Again, if you are a laborite and you have an MP who's, let me say this, now is not the time to have certain discussion. Let me say that first of all. And if I'm in Portland and my MP is Daryl Vaz, and I have issues with Daryl Vaz, let me tell you something. I don't want Daryl Vaz substitute, which is the PMP. And I will be voting for my Prime Minister. And after I finish voting for my Prime Minister and elect back my Prime Minister, we will then voice our concern. Like my Prime Minister stated, every MP has to go around and have a manifest, like a, what is it called? He said, all the MPs, he's now expecting all the MPs to have an achievement book of what they have done.
A report.
You, the people, can hold them accountable. Let me say, now is not the time. Now is the time for us to vote, and I will be voting. Even if Daryl Vaz now do what I'm supposed to do, I'm voting for Andrew Holness because Andrew Holness promised me that these MP will be moving up and shipping out if they don't do their work. And like he said, they need to come back to us with this achievement book and show us what they have done in their constituency. Yes, we vote on achievements and work of our MP and our Prime Minister, but at this time, me not go vote for the next man. Me a vote for the Prime Minister. All when my MP now work. After the election, let's come together as a community.
Exactly.
Let's come together as a constituency and let's go out and have our voice be heard to our Prime Minister. This is not working with the MP.
Exactly. They had 5 years to exercise their democratic right.
Thank you. So don't come up here undercover PMP with that. You're not a laborite. I keep telling you guys, you know, we are not true to the reasons of why we choose in Jamaica. Because if you look at the alternative, I would never think to say I'm going to take a chance with the other MP. If he has done some work, Rome wasn't built overnight. Listen, the Prime Minister, it didn't have 9 years. He was in for 9 years, but 3 was taken for him. 3 was taken for him. And all of that, all of what they're doing can't be done overall one time. It will be done in phases. We don't have the money to do everything one time, that's for sure. And everything will be done in phases. So when we are disgruntled about something, 3 weeks to the election is not the time for you to be a disgruntled person or an undercover, whoever you claim to be. Don't bring that to me, because I am not one of those diarted, patriotic labor right. I am a straight labor right. Labor right on reasoning, labor right on policy, labor right on truth. I'm going to tell you as it is. Jump on, you just jump on. Or was it Elaine who was first? I don't remember.
But just quickly,